Welcome to Music Alive North Shore, your live in-home concert cable TV show. I'm Paul Norman, and I'm hopefully providing you with an opportunity to enjoy some live music in your home by presenting some of the best North Shore musicians in the area. This is a local access cable show, and we're currently airing in Wakefield, Stoneham, Beverly, Danvers, and North Andover, and hopefully in a few months we'll be able to expand that to more towns in the North Shore region. Now, as you all know, one of the unfortunate consequences of the COVID crisis is we've lost the ability to go out and hear live music at clubs and venues, something we've all enjoyed. Not only has this deprived us of something that's been important in our lives, but it's had devastating economic impacts on the clubs, the venues, and the performers that play there. Music Alive North Shore hopes to be able to bring you that fun music into your home while we all wait for the hopeful reopening of the clubs and the concert venues. I'm excited to present to you today's performers, Rick Campbell and friends. They're some of the best musicians in the North Shore. You may have seen them on some of the stages in the North Shore, and their original music is a lot of fun. So sit back, relax, or get up and dance to the fun tunes of Rick Campbell and friends. Show us what you got.
Michael showed me heaven. Put her through hell. She found a way to get even. See how far I fell. It's my turn to suffer. It's my turn to suffer. I was low down and no good. Now the shoe's on the other foot. My turn to suffer. As in love and in business, I'd lie and I'd cheat. Now all my ill-gotten gains been taken away from me. It's my turn to suffer. It's my turn to suffer. I was low down and no good. Now the shoe's on the other foot. My turn to suffer. Cheat. Now all my ill-gotten gains been taken away from me. It's my turn to suffer. It's my turn to suffer. I was low down and no good. Now the shoe's on the other foot. My turn to suffer. On the street, now I'm the one who ain't got no food to eat. It's my turn to suffer. It's my turn to suffer. Low down and no good. Now the shoe's on the other foot. My turn to suffer. My turn to suffer. Was low down and no good. Now the shoe's on the other foot. It's my turn to suffer. I was low down and no good. Now the shoe's on the other foot. My turn to suffer. My turn to suffer. My turn to suffer.
All right, the next song's called Love Comes and Love Goes, and I don't know where this one came from.
love went wrong, you never know. No, no. Love comes and love goes. Here we go.
Suffering from a bad case of too much dance music. I know I wasn't in Jamaica, but I really wanted to hear some reggae, and this just kind of started playing through my head. Yeah, so this is what happens when you listen to the voices in your head. Right? Ah, yes, my favorite drink. What is it called? This is called Endless Margaritas. Margaritas for everybody. Oh, no, I definitely know where this one came from. I was in a bar, my friend was talking about the end of his first marriage. He was living in Austin, Texas, and things split up. He moved back northeast, and he was eventually talking to his soon-to-be ex-wife. And he said to her, what do you think about me moving, back down to Austin? And she said, if you come back to Texas, don't come back for me. And I said, if you're not going to write that song, hold my beer, I will. So he let me have that one. He's a great songwriter, too, but he let me have that one. You ready, Kelly?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. She screamed she didn't love me. She ordered me out. 2,000 miles away, I could still hear her shout. The Lone Star State was my home. I didn't want to leave. She said, if you come back to Texas, don't come back for me. I'd love to change her mind, but I know she'll never budge. She used to hold me tight, she'll hold tighter to that grudge. Reluctantly I left her, lost in misery. She said, if you come back to Texas, don't come back for me. Maybe she'll come back for you, Sam. Her voice was icy, made my poor heart freeze. She said, if you come back to Texas, don't come back for me. Is where I'll be. I got a tiny apartment and a color TV. I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag, laying on the floor. You want to steal my heart back? I don't lock the door, but I'll never hear her footsteps. She's a fading memory. She said, if you come back to Texas, don't come back for me. That's a true story. All right. Let me introduce the band. On lead guitar, we got Leadfoot Sam Markson. Maybe we should call the band,
Sam Markson and the Markups. On the drums, we got Phil Delane. You know, you need a drummer named Phil, a guitarist named Noise, and a bassist named Low. Alas, we don't have that. But I do have a bassist named Emma Campbell. Strangely enough, she shares the same last name as me. Not sure how that happened. Should we call the band the Emma Campbell Experience? How about fill in the blanks? That was a band. This is called Sticky.
It's sticky. What a sticky situation. Hot and sticky. Sticky situation. You like love and danger, slipping out the back when the front door slammed. Mysterious stranger, loving all the women, hated by the men. You can't last forever, coming on a day when you get slow. Now you ain't what you once was, didn't hear the husband coming through the door. It's sticky. What a sticky situation. Hot and sticky. Sticky situation. Should not have been greedy, sticking around for just a little more fun. Won't you tell me, was it worth it, now that you're looking at the barrel of a gun? You made a bad decision, hating on yourself cause you didn't leave. Now you found religion, praying to a God who you never believed. Is angry, says he ain't afraid to go to jail. Trigger finger itching, hell of a price for a little piece of hell. He shoots and you're running, blood and tears all over the floor. Will he show you mercy? Is he gonna hit you with a couple more? It's sticky. What a sticky situation. Hot and sticky, sticky situation. It's sticky, sticky situation. Hot and sticky, sticky situation.
All right. Another song I have no idea where it came from. This is a tune called Make Some Time for Love.
Rich man with $1 billion. In his heart he's all alone. Got a big mansion in the Hamptons. No place that he calls home. His career is on the fast track. Wearing $1,000 shoes. Hooking up with pretty strangers. No, we really don't have a clue, no clue. Gotta make some time for love. 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 She's too tired and busy. Woman's hunger in decline. Putting out 1,000,000 fires when she should be tending mine all night. Gotta make some time for love. 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 Come on.
All right, this is a song for our current times. This is called Don't Double Down on a Bad Bet.
You got a chance to do it over. This time do it right. You can fix a mistake you made 4 years ago tonight. I feel for the future. Don't do something you'll regret. I'm begging you, brother, please. Don't double down on a bad bet. You think you've got the trump card. You swear it's a winning hand. But that man, he's playing a game. He don't understand. I feel for the future. Don't do something you regret. I'm begging you, brother, please. Don't double down on a bad bet. Choice. Don't go down the same path. Listen to the righteous voice. I fear for the future. Don't do something you regret. I'm begging you, brother, please. Don't double down on a bad bet. I'm begging you, brother, please. Don't double down on a bad bet. I'm begging you, brother, please.
Here's another song for our current times. This is called the Lockdown Quarantine Blues. I wrote this 10 years ago because I was a visionary. Sorry, no, I wish. I would have said, everybody, don't do it. For all the women who loved Mario Cuomo. Oh, well, Mario Cuomo was cool too, right? All right, all right. It's a good thing I have my editor here to help me out. All right, for all the women who love Andrew Cuomo.
I'm tired of staring at these four walls. It's Friday night. I should be having a ball. Every friend I have, I've already called. There's really not a damn thing to do. Got those lockdown and quarantine blues. Lockdown and quarantine blues. I love my baby, but I'm afraid it won't last. She won't share my bed, no matter how nicely I ask. She'll only kiss me through a pane of glass. Honey, I'm thinking we're through. Got the lockdown and quarantine blues. Lockdown and quarantine blues. Oh, here we go. My woman watches Andrew Cuomo every day. I understand. He makes her feel safe. But I swear, oh I swear, she wants him to take my place. She's getting tired of looking at my face. Oh. You know my beer don't taste right since it's not on draft. With a few barroom buddies to share a laugh. This ain't real life, it's just a bad, fuzzy photograph. So I'll make myself another drink or two. Got the lockdown and quarantine blues. Lockdown and quarantine blues. Ooh, lockdown and quarantine blues. Lockdown and quarantine blues, yeah.
All right, my friend Sam gets to sing one. Sam introduced me to a friend. And this guy caught the bug bad. He was on a ventilator for, almost 2 months, right?
57 days.
And he did come out of the hospital. He is an avid motorcyclist who refers to getting on his bike and tearing around as wind therapy. And man, if that's not a song title, then I ain't a songwriter. But it is, and I am. All right, so we got one more song for you. And drummers are weird people. My friend Dave Thompson is a drummer, and he's weird. But they think of things in terms of grooves. And he says to me one day, hey, we don't do any songs with a Texas shuffle kind of feel. And I probably looked like a deer in the headlights thinking, oh man, please don't make me play Pride and Joy. Great song. Love you, Stevie. But I really don't think another bar band needs to play that. You guys remember bar bands, right? You guys remember bars? Yeah. You guys remember social lives? Anyhow, I said to Dave, hold my beer, and I wrote a Texas shuffle song about driving across Texas. This is called Long Straight Line.
mind. Stay on track, boy, driving the long straight line. I grip the wheel, I listen to the tires whine, thinking about that woman I call mine. Yes, I know what's waiting on the other side. Hold you in my arms, it's worth the ride. I would drive all night, leaving my troubles far behind, dreaming of my girl, driving the long straight line. Nothing but static on the radio. I want her bad, I got the pedal to the floor. Must be doing 90 and a 65. Desolate highway, only one alive. Drinking coffee, making time, dreaming of my girl, driving the long straight line. 2, 3.
Thank you very much. Emma Campbell, Phil Delane, Leadfoot Sam Markson. I'm Rick Campbell. Thank you all for listening.
Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the great set of music that we just heard as much as I did from Rick Campbell and friends. I wanted to spend a couple of minutes to talk with Rick about the performance today. So, Rick, thanks so much for joining us.
It was a lot of fun. We had a great time working up the set, and I kept throwing new tunes at the guys and girls, and you know they rose to it. It was fun. Thank
Well, I
you.
know you put a lot of rehearsal time into it. It's kind of interesting to hear that your repertoire was building over time as you're getting ready for the performance. You know, it was fantastic to have you guys here with us today. You know, obviously, it's been very hard for entertainers, performers, our audience to replace the live music that's been such an important part in their life. And I know this has probably had a pretty significant impact on your ability to get out and have fun and play gigs. So tell us a little bit about what things have been like in this Corona world that we're living in.
Well, I'm fortunate, I guess, in that I don't try to make a living at it. Those guys are hurting badly. I'm really just a weekend warrior. And there's I guess there's a lot more time for me to spend in the basement writing and recording and being creative.
Well, a perfect example of that is that Rick wrote the theme song for Music Alive North Shore. So
That's true.
That was a basement creation.
Yep.
And it shows, it's a great example of how you're using your musical skills in ways that are different than what you've done in the past.
Yeah, that was weird. I hadn't written a really rock-centered thing in 35 years.
Well, it came out fantastic. I think that it's gotten our show off to a great start. Now, have you found that you've been more creative and inspired from a creativity perspective more than in the past, or has that not really changed too much since we've been in this COVID crisis?
Well, I'm always hatching ideas for new songs, but certainly, I wouldn't have written Lockdown Quarantine Blues if it wasn't for the situation we're in. And coming up on the election year, I would not have written Double Down on a Bad Bet.
Yeah, don't double down on a bad bet for sure. Exactly.
But,
well, it's interesting to see how, like you said, you've been able to generate some new music, and I'm glad that we had an opportunity to showcase that and create a venue and an opportunity for you to share that with our audience.
Yeah, this place is fun. Sounds great. It was a blast playing here.
Great. Let's talk a little bit about some of the artists that inspired you, have had an influence on your playing style, your compositions. Obviously, I know the blues has sort of been important for you, but have there certain artists in particular that have had more of an influence than others?
It'd be too long a list.
Okay,
but
we don't
the guy,
have all day.
The guy who made me pick up the guitar was Jimi Hendrix, having seen him in a terrible movie called Rainbow Bridge. If you see the movie, just fast forward to the end when Hendrix plays. There's nothing else worth watching. It was the guy who got me to play, and as a kid I was lucky enough to see Albert King and B.B. King live in person, Luther Allison. I didn't get to see Muddy Waters. I had opportunities to, and I don't know, maybe I thought he was going to live forever. He sure looked like it.
Yeah.
And then a whole slew of rock guys too, but mostly today what I focus on is bluesy sort of centered stuff. That's where it comes out of.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear how many people have been inspired by B.B. King and Buddy Guy, and those guys. It's almost like the Bill Belichick coaching tree. There's just so many people that have learned from the masters that have made such a huge contribution to all the music that we love to hear. The Eric Claptons of the world, for example.
Yep, liked him too.
Yeah,
I think that. In terms of I wasn't playing yet, but I remember someone had a friend had an older brother, and they brought over a record by Cream, and I really liked it. And the guy looked at me almost apologetically. He says, "Yeah, there's a lot of sort of bluesy stuff on here." I'm like thinking to myself, "Why is he apologizing? This sounds great."
Yeah.
I grew up in Chicago, so there was kind of a big blues shadow there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one place that I haven't been, and I enjoy music so much, and I'm afraid I may have missed the opportunity to experience the blues music scene, at least in the near term of Chicago.
Well, you can always go back. We won't be locked up forever.
That's right. That's right. So let's talk. You mentioned that Jimi Hendrix inspired you. Let's talk a little bit about your music early in your life. How did you start on this musical journey?
I started on violin at age 10, and I didn't like it. But I remember there were other kids who did, and they used to tell us, "We want you to practice a half-hour a day," and I'd set a timer. When that thing went ding, boom, violin back in the case. But when I was 16, that's when I saw that movie with Jimi Hendrix in it, and that's when it changed. It's like, maybe this music thing is fun.
So I know that you've had some training at some of our best music schools. you went to Berkeley for a little bit. Is that right?
Yeah, I did my 4 years. Was released on good behavior.
Okay, good.
And that's what brought me out to the Northeast.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I stayed.
You stayed here.
I did.
Okay. I'm curious to know, how were you able to convince your daughter, Emma, that playing in Dad's band is not such a bad thing?
I don't know that I had to convince her. She started playing when she was around 10 or 11, and within a year or so, I had her going to bars and playing with me. It was probably an unusual way to grow up. But, she took to her instrument really quickly. And so she was able to be in a position we can go out to a jam, and I would call 3 or 4 friends, hey, I'm bringing Em, we're going to do these songs, be ready.
Yeah.
And it gave her a lot of experience playing with older, more skilled musicians.
Sure.
Once in a while she'd play with someone who wasn't that good, and then I'd have to listen to it all the way home. It's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that accelerated her musical skill development. She was really playing great today for someone that's less experienced than some of the other members of your band.
So she's about a third of the age of some of us, half the age of others.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's wonderful, and she plays a whole lot of different styles. She played in Boston College's big band, played upright bass.
Okay.
And she's had some great teachers. Marty Hayden of Quality Music Lessons and Lenny Bradford, who has played with pretty much everybody. And her middle school band director, Pat Motion. Just so many great people who are in her corner.
Well, I think it's so wonderful when you can share a skill and something you're passionate about with your children. It really adds a lot to their life and yours as well. It's something that I've had a chance to experience a little bit, not quite as much as you, and I think that really is a nice bond, and I'm glad that it's been something that you and she have really enjoyed.
It made the teenage years very peaceful.
Well, that's another great benefit. Well, I want to thank you again so much for being with us today. The music was fantastic, and I hope that things get back to normal in the not too distant future. But if they don't, I would like to suggest that you start working on a few more songs, and we can get you back here to entertain us again.
I will do so. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.